Yo, guys, this is a little different than what we normally do, but we're going to be doing an actual podcast with no camera, no nothing. So it's just Hayden and I. What's up, Hayden?
So,
And I just had a couple things I wanted to go over with y'all. Since the NBA Finals just over, the Boston Celtics are victorious for the first time since 2008.
does
I don't
it
really
feel
know
great?
what.
Does it feel great? No, not really.
I don't know.
Not
I don't.
really.
Jason Tatum. I'm just happy he didn't get the Finals MVP. But um, so here, Hayden, you go into a little bit of depth what happened.
Well, uh, the Celtics won the NBA Finals. Um, Pretty controversial. I mean, they won, but obviously there was a lot of, you know, obviously like a lot of players got hurt that made their path to the finals very easily. So obviously that was kind of
Yeah. So
ridiculous.
we're gonna go ahead and jump into NBA coaches on the hot seat. So one of the main ones I just saw was Monty Williams. He just got fired by the Pistons, which makes sense. He took him to 28 game losing streak. I think that's a no.
29.
I
I
think
think it was
that's a,
20.
I think
I
that's a
don't
no
remember.
brainer getting rid of him. Don't you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. That's. I mean, you can't. I mean, I don't know what you expect. Bro had made like. I can't speak. Like, you can't take your team to the biggest losing streak in NBA history and not expect to get fired. Like,
I mean, he
I don't
didn't have
even.
much of a roster, but that's no excuse.
That's not really an excuse. I mean, I don't know. How do you even do that? Like, for really, like the thing was, I don't. Their team honestly wasn't that bad, but like I don't know. It was
Cade
just weird.
Cunningham was the only good player.
Yeah.
All right, the next coach I'm seeing here is Billy Donovan. He's the head coach for the Bulls. I
Mm,
100% agree. He should be on the hot seat. And if he does not have somewhat of a winning season this year, he will get fired because they have finished under 500 in the past couple of years. And it's
huh.
the one time that they really were in the playoffs in 2022 after a 46 win season, they
Yeah.
lost in the first round. And so
Yeah.
you've got to expect if they can't get something done, these fans that have been waiting since 1998, you would expect something to be changed.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
And
It's you got.
I saw that the Bulls offered 21 trade packages to different teams about getting rid of Zach LaVine. He is going to be traded this offseason.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. 100%. I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't. For honestly.
Um, Another coach I saw on the hot seat was Chauncey Billups, the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. He should have been fired a long time ago. Like
I mean,
the Portland Trailblazers, I'm gonna be honest, they have not done anything.
uh, like they haven't done anything since like uh uh, Damian Lillard hit that game-winning shot against the Thunder. I mean,
Yeah, they
what?
have not done anything.
I even with Damian Lillard, they haven't done anything. I don't
I
like.
mean, yeah,
Have they even gotten close to the finals with Damian Lillard? Like
I don't think
they
so.
haven't. Like it seems like they haven't been relevant since like the 70s, 80s. Like who ever?
Well,
If
I
I
mean, they hired him in 2021,
Yeah,
and they have not done anything since 2021.
I mean, let's be for real. Who actually watched the Portland Trailblazers this year? Really, no one. I think the Trailblazers are probably the most forgotten team in the NBA currently.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
That's
there's coaches like Darvin Ham available,
mhm.
Frank Vogel, you know, Dwayne
Yeah.
Casey. There's coaches like that. Why not try someone new?
No, we like to lose.
Um, let's see. I also believe. Let's look. I mean, Jordy Fernandez, the head coach for the Nets, he just got there this year, so
Yeah.
I don't really think that he should be gotten rid of. The Houston Rockets head coach Emi Adoka, he was the guy who got fired from the Celtics, putting Joe Mazzulla in a tough position as an intern head coach. I don't
hmm
really know why or how he has a job after what some of the things he did.
Yeah.
Not gonna say you guys can go look at that yourself. I don't really think he should have a job, but I think the Indiana Pacers head coach, I think he's safe where he's at. I think it was a
Yeah.
great season for them. I was very impressed. Cleveland
Yeah.
Cavaliers, the JB Bickerstaff. I
Mm,
think, my personal opinion, he's on the hot seat. Cavs fans,
I don't know.
I mean, the Cavs have not done anything since LeBron left for the second time.
I mean, I mean they. I
I,
mean,
I feel like if they underperform this season, then they're gone. Because Donovan Mitchell is there,
yeah.
Jared Allen is there,
Darius Garland.
Darius Garland, Max Struss. Like they got the team, and they just
Yeah.
don't do anything with it.
Very inconsistent team. I mean, what would you really consider like like an inconsistent year? I mean, it's the I don't know. Really, that's just the problem. When you have a good team, more expectations are for you as a coach. Um, so obviously, I think if he like doesn't make it out of the second round this year, he'll probably go.
I think yeah, because I mean it's
But
not like the
uh,
Pistons just making the playoffs. It's at this point it's actually doing something in the playoffs.
and who knows? Maybe. I mean, I've seen some rumors that Donovan might leave, but I don't think it's true.
I think he's in for the long haul for a little bit. He might. I think he turned down his extension, but that doesn't
Yeah.
mean he wants to leave. That just means he's
Yeah.
not really sure on his future just yet.
Yeah.
Now Quinn Snyder with the Hawks, I think if
The
he does,
Hawk.
I think this year if he misses like the actual playoff, like they make the play in just about every year.
Yeah.
I think if they actually miss the playoffs this year, I don't think he'll get fired, but I know that there's going to be some changes with either the roster or the coach.
Trey Young. Yeah. And they got the first pick, but the draft class this year, I
The only players I've seen that look really good is Alexander Sarr and that Cody Williams or whatever. Those two are the only two I actually think have somewhat of talent, and I think the Hawks could really use Alexander Sarr because he's
mm-hmm.
a big center, and they don't. I mean Clint Capella, but I mean he's not really
Yeah.
good.
I don't know the Trey Young kind of rumors. I don't know if they're true. The Hawk. I think the Hawks said that they're going to keep him, but who knows? I mean,
I think. Oh, the next coach we're going to go on to is Steve Clifford of the Hornets. He should be fired.
he gotta go.
Like
He got
I don't know if it's his first, second, third year. I don't really care.
he gotta go.
This season was awful.
Yeah, it was
And they
terrible.
actually had a decent roster too.
Yeah, I thought Brandon Miller showed some sparks, but I mean, but I mean, like,
He was like he showed some bang bang.
yeah, but one player can't do it all. So I
And
mean,
LaMelo has been unheard of.
did he play a game this year? Because I know Lonzo didn't, but like, well,
The
I don't
Los
know.
Angeles Clippers head coach Tyronn Lue, I think his job is safe.
Yeah, I think I mean Kawhi got hurt, so
Yeah, I mean he didn't really have much he could do.
I don't know. I mean they, uh,
I don't know.
I
I
I don't
like
know.
I liked the Lakers hiring today JJ Redick. I think JJ Redick just needs that shot because I feel like he could
Yeah,
be one of those players that is like one of those guys that's kind of underrated. He knows how to play ball because he's done it.
he has a podcast. Okay, with LeBron. Okay,
um,
speaking of LeBron. Okay, okay.
Memphis Grizzlies head coach, he should not be fired this
Oh,
year.
I
Maybe
think
if he does bad next year, maybe. But the thing is, he had no one. Everyone was injured.
yeah, everyone was injured. I mean, yeah, like Morant being out twice was definitely not helping at all.
No.
I mean, Morant like returned, they already sucked. So I mean,
Yeah. So, Tom Thibodeau for the New York Knicks. Um,
no.
everyone voted for him, the coach to not play for. Like that's the one you don't want to play for.
Hmm.
I think if he doesn't make it out of the first or second round this year, I think he's done.
It is the Knicks though.
Well,
So I
yeah,
don't know.
I feel like everybody wants the Knicks to do something, and we all know
But
that. I don't think
but
Thibodeau is going to take them anywhere.
yeah.
I
But it
think
is
he's going to take them to the second round at max, and they want
yeah.
more than that. So if a decent head coach, kind of pops up into the picture, I think that they'll take it.
Yeah, but and then yet again, injuries got in their way. But
Still, it's happened every year.
mhm.
Um, I thought Jamal Mosley for the Magic did a phenomenal job this year.
Yeah, yeah. Especially because it's the Magic.
So Darko Ragovic, whatever for the Raptors, is his first year. I like his mentality, but
Yeah.
it's just his first year. Next year, you just got to worry about getting your record up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Wizards currently do not have a coach other than their interim head coach, Brian Keefe, which, if he is going to become the head coach, Wizards fans are going to be sitting on their thumbs for a while.
I mean, the Wizards. I mean, their logo's not even a wizard. So I mean,
All right. So now that we've done that, oh, and one more thing. Josh Giddey got
oh yeah.
traded to the Bulls today for Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso's already been in a Thunder jersey before. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like this is a great trade because
Yeah.
Josh Giddey, I feel like, is a worthless person who is not productive whatsoever other
Oh.
than, passing. Alex Caruso is amazing at defense. He's, been in the top defensive players every year. And I feel like that was one thing OKC kind of struggled with was their
Yeah.
defense.
Yeah.
I feel like he could be a great addition to the team morally. He could bring weed. But I mean, yes, he's a Texas A&M kid, but I think he could get it done if he was productive.
Yeah. Thunders. They're going full steam ahead. They're going for the finals.
I mean, they should. All right.
Yeah.
Next segment is head coaches in the NFL on the hot seat.
Sure.
And this was off of a article posted by NFL on CBS. I wanted to see this one because I want to talk about this one specifically because I think some of them are kind of bad.
Yeah.
Robert Saleh at number 1. I do not agree with that at all.
No.
I feel like Robert Saleh came in. I think he came in right after Adam Gase.
Yeah.
Adam Gase blew that team to shreds. He ruined that team. And I mean, Robert Saleh even getting, Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams. How are you like if he does bad, yes, he should be on the hot seat. I
Uh-huh.
don't it doesn't make sense to me saying he's on the hot seat right now
Uh-huh.
whenever he's got so much potential right now.
Yeah.
I think he's just got to prove it.
Yeah, there's definitely some potential, but you just I mean, but yet again, another bad season for him.
I mean,
Might,
it's got to be really bad for him to get fired.
yeah, it's got to be really bad.
And I'm surprised on this top 8 list that Sean Payton isn't on here.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Sean Payton had a terrible draft class.
Yeah.
He has not done anything for the Broncos except bring Russell Wilson in and then get rid of him, the next couple of years.
And it
He
starts
has not done anything productive.
yeah, and he can't keep his mouth shut, bro. Like he talks smack about like other coaches
Yeah.
and like it's arguments with players. I mean, he benched Russell Wilson for honestly no reason. I mean, sure, Russell Wilson was struggling, but like I don't think sabotaging your team is really the answer. Um, he's just washed, honestly. Like ever since Drew Brees left or like retired,
I mean, the thing is, he never really had an uprising. That's my opinion. You can say whatever you want. He never had a prime. But that's because of the whole defensive coordinator, bounty gate situation. Because that was the Super Bowl that they wanted. And I feel like that, that's not really fair. And he still got a Super Bowl ring from it. Now, I'm not discrediting the players at all. I discredit the coaches because there's no shot Sean Payton didn't know that was going on and he got suspended because of it. I feel like he shouldn't have been allowed to come back.
I think one of the reasons is because he's not on the hot seat. It's because the Broncos gave up a lot to get him out of retirement. Like I think they gave up a first round pick.
They gave up something. I know that.
Something. So obviously they're not just gonna be like, okay, you're gone. Like they gotta keep him for a couple, maybe 1 or 2 more years. But if he keeps this crap on, I mean, really, he's honestly he's washed. He should have stayed in retirement.
Yeah, and Bo Nix is not going to help that.
No,
he'll run to the right and throw it away to the left.
that was a mercy. That was a mercy pick, bro.
That pick made 0 sense.
I mean, they were dead. You could tell drafting Bo Nix at 13, I think, like that, or 12.
13 or 12. I knew it was one of those two.
Like that's showing signs of we're desperate for a quarterback. Like anything would be better than Jarrett
I mean,
Stidham.
if I were them, this is my personal opinion. I would go for Justin Fields. Why not try to go? He's a backup. His value right now is just going to be deteriorating and deteriorating because he's just rotting behind Russell Wilson. I think he has a good fair shot at being the Steelers starting quarterback week, 2 or 3. But I say try and get him now because right now is the time where you need to get him because he's not doing anything.
Yeah, I I agree. I don't know. I guess the Broncos just didn't want to try. But enough with Sean Payton. Let's go back to the actual
Number
coach.
2 is Brian DeBall.
He,
I feel like he is on the hot seat. He won Coach of the Year a couple years
yeah,
ago. The thing, everybody will be like, "Oh, he's had a bad team. Everybody's been injured." Well, he hasn't done anything to fix it.
yeah,
If you want a good team, you got to try and do something to fix it. Drafting Malik Neighbors is not going to fix it
yeah.
going long term.
Especially when you have Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones needs to go.
And I hate like when people say, "Oh, they were injured." The thing was, they weren't good when they weren't injured.
And they're not trying to do anything, to
Yeah.
get out of that. They had one playoff win a couple years ago. Good for them. They haven't done anything since.
Like they literally said, "Oh, we're not going to franchise Saquon. We're just going to let him leave." And then he went to Philly. What do you expect? You want to get mad at Saquon because he left for a better team, bro? They literally said, "Go f yourself." What to him? I the
They could have
Giants.
at least tried to trade him.
Yeah, like why? Like they're literally
Giving him up.
yeah. It's the Giants. They're just so bad right now.
Ever since Eli Manning, it just seems like they just crap the bed. They're like the freaking Spurs.
The thing was like they kind of weren't good with Eli Manning. I mean, yeah, Super Bowl. I mean, the last couple of years were not that great, but I don't know. The Giants. I mean, the year they made the playoffs 2 years ago, they were frauds. Like if you looked at when they played good teams, they got like manhandled by like 30.
But like the whole thing with the Vikings thing, they were frauds too. And
Yeah,
that was just a trap game. You knew how it was gonna go. You knew it was
yeah,
gonna be the Giants, and it was the Giants. Hayden and I both said like
yeah,
without any doubt it was gonna be the Giants, and it was. It's
yeah.
because you got to look at how the teams play against other teams, and we knew that the Giants wouldn't fold under the pressure of the Vikings because the Vikings don't have much pressure.
And the thing is, the Giants just don't have some common sense. Everyone who wasn't running the Giants front office said paying Daniel Jones is a bad idea, except the Giants front office. And yet they paid him like $1 billion, and now
40 million.
now they're stuck with him.
I think I mean I understand paying him, but paying him 40 million, that's a lot of money to spend on a guy who's not going to throw the ball very well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Tyrod Taylor looked like last year, last couple of games, Tyrod Taylor looked like a freaking all-star on the Giants. I mean, they got rid of him.
Coach number 3 on the list, Dennis Allen of the Saints. I 100,000% agree.
Agreed.
He is not good.
Yeah, but yeah, and Saints on without Drew Brees. Like when Drew Brees left, their program just went. Like, here's a little hot take. I think Derek Carr is going to get benched.
Yep.
Like mid season. I think they're going to start. Yeah, and I have I have some emotions for Spencer Rattler. I don't think he's a good quarterback. I never saw. I don't know what made him such a the draft. I don't know how he got drafted, but that's not the point. Saints, honestly, it seems like they were supposed to be like really good last year. Like everyone was saying, "Oh,
like when Alvin Kamara comes back from his suspension."
Yeah, Derek Carr, like he was on a crappy Raiders team. He's gonna have a better year. Let's see what else they got. Jamal Williams. Oh wait, how many touchdowns did he have? 1, and that came on the last play of the season, and that was obvious. And you know how that went down.
So the whole thing, I don't know about letting Jameis Winston go. I don't think that they should have let him walk.
Yeah,
because he's honestly he's either throw it 90 yards or it's going to be a pick. That's how he is. But if you're going to let him walk, at least get somebody decent back. Spencer
Yeah.
Rattler's not that guy.
Hmm.
Derek
I
Carr
thought,
Derek Carr was the only shining star on the Raiders for a long time. And then as soon as he gets to the Saints, something goes wrong. I don't really think that's how it ended up. There's got to be something more to it.
yeah,
Cameron Jordan, he's getting old. I don't
yeah,
really think Demario Davis has much in the tank. Alvin
they got,
Kamara is still looking great. He's still getting a lot of targets. But the thing
yeah,
is, he can't really do much whenever there's nobody helping him out.
yeah,
Tyrann Mathieu, still there. Didn't even
yeah,
know I mean, I kind of forgot he was there last
yeah,
year.
yeah. Really, like, what happened to that man, bro?
I mean, there were so many issues, and then they're gonna like say, well, you know, we had injuries, and then this, and
No,
this, and it's like, well, yeah, you had injuries, but you still sucked.
yeah,
I mean,
uh,
everybody thought that they were gonna do really good, and then they ended up missing the playoffs in the NFC South.
South,
Like
yeah,
that, if you miss the playoffs in the NFC South, there's something
some-
wrong.
something wrong. I mean, when the division winner is a freaking 8-9 or 9-8, there's something wrong. Like, come on, man. There's no excuse. Like, I'm a Panthers fan. Like, there's just no excuse, bro. Like, we're terrible. Like, all the teams are terrible. I mean, maybe not terrible. Like the Buccaneers. I mean, they're not terrible, but they're not great. There's no excuse for this kind of like this poor
Performance.
play, especially on offense. I mean, when you have your fans booing their own quarterback for like I think one time Taysom Hill came in for one play and then Derek Carr came in the next and everyone started booing.
Yep.
That's just something is up. So and Dennis Allen, he's done nothing. He's done nothing there except disappoint, disappoint, disappoint. He's good at signing good players, but he's not good at utilizing them.
That's
He's
fair.
not good at he's not good at like he's kind of like he's like the good recruiter, but not a good coach.
I feel like this one should be pretty easy to talk about. Matt Eberflus. I think that if he does bad this year, then he will be fired, no doubt. There is
I
zero excuse for bad performance. He had a great draft. He's gotten Keenan Allen. Did he get DeAndre Swift?
Yeah, he did.
Like
He did.
they've gotten so many players, and if they don't like if they don't make the playoffs, then he should get fired because it's ridiculous if you don't make the playoffs with that kind of roster. That kind of
I
roster is the roster that is a young team that can play, like the Thunder. Now, if you don't do anything with it, then it's going to really end up like the Thunder, and you're going to get eliminated.
I thought he should have been fired last year. If I'm being for real, I mean he's really not a good coach. I'm 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 I don't think he's a good coach at all. Um, Justin, I mean, sure, maybe Justin Fields had some issues, but he was definitely showing progress. But then, like, I don't
And then
know.
getting rid of Justin Fields was ridiculous.
I thought that was ridiculous. Like, really, he showed some sparks,
Hey, we have
and
9 minutes
so,
left on the Zoom, so
uh, well, make things quick. I don't think he's a good coach, and I think he should have been fired. But if he doesn't have a good year this year, then he should definitely be fired.
Mike McCarthy at 5.
I think he should have been fired. He can't win the big games.
I think he should have been fired, but thinking about Jerry Jones, he's never going to be on the hot seat. He literally said that he wants him to be the new Tom Landry and be there for 20 years. He's not going to get fired. Sorry, Cowboys fans. If you want him fired, then you're going to have to go to a new team. Or you're going to have to go on Madden and do it there because he's not going to get fired in real life.
Yeah, he can't win the big games. He can't. He can't, especially in the playoffs. He cannot win the big games, and he's probably never going to win the big games. Sure, you can. Sure, he'll win. He'll win the crappy games,
For the
and you'll
division.
yeah for the division. But when the Cowboys when it's do or die,
They
he
die.
is not. He's not going to come in clutch. He is not the guy to come
Um,
in.
so the next one is Nick Sirianni. He is not on the hot seat. I have
I
no
yeah
idea why he's even on this list. He made the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and last year made the playoffs.
he
You make
sure
the
he
Super Bowl and then you lose in round one. How are you on the hot seat? I feel like he shouldn't be on the hot seat whatsoever.
sure he's an idiot. Sure he has some he has some like tantrum issues, but like he brought you guys to the Super Bowl. Like how can you? He got you AJ Brown for literally nothing,
And
and
they had a great offseason too. They
yeah,
extended Devontae Smith. They extended AJ Brown. They got the
hmm
DeJohn Cooper. Like
yeah,
they have done great. And I think that Cody Benjamin, the guy who made this list, if you put him on the hot seat, then I think you have mental issues because that is I'm not a fan of him, but like you have to have mental issues and open your eyes and see.
yeah. I don't understand it. I know Philly, their fans are just terrible, ungrateful, spoiled. There's no reason why he should be on the hot seat. He brought you to a Super Bowl. He's never missed the playoffs since he's gotten there. So, but whatever. Whatever
The
you
next one, number 7, Todd Bowles. I think it's stupid that he's on this list too. He brought a Buccaneers team, beat the Eagles, and then got to the next round and actually put up a decent fight. You saying that he's on the hot seat, that makes absolutely no sense. He's actually played his cards well.
Yeah. I know people were like, "Well, he had the losing record against the GOAT, Tom Brady." The thing was, that was his 23rd year, and like everyone was kind of just old, and I don't know, it was just a bad year for them. But
And it was
really,
a bad situation. He came in after a retirement.
yeah. But then and then he had Baker Mayfield to the roster. Everyone thought that was a laugh stock of a sign. He turned out to be pretty good. Uh, that team is honestly, I hate to say it, that team is definitely like a thorn bush of a team. They they're definitely a dangerous team. They definitely can win games. They're inconsistent, but they can definitely win the big games. Todd Bowles, I think he's just a very inconsistent coach. I don't think he's a bad coach, so that might be the reason why he's on it. But I think as long as he keeps doing his thing, I don't see him leaving, or I don't see him getting fired anytime soon.
Sean McDermott is number 8. Now, I do have some opinions on this one. I think he might get fired because of the controversial things he's saying.
Yeah,
I mean, that would be a reason. I don't think that'll be the only reason. And I think it'll be a reason of he can't make it he can't win in big games.
yeah,
But I don't think it's just him. I think it's a whole coaching staff.
hmm especially against the Chiefs.
Yeah. It just
I mean,
seems like that whole coaching staff is extremely inconsistent and they kind of seem like the team, if they're up 50, they're going to keep scoring. That's how I feel they are. Josh Allen is not a generational talent. He is absolute booty. I hate Josh Allen, my least favorite player in the league. He is
hmm
not your generational quarterback. And I don't think
hmm
Sean McDermott is going to help him get any better. Because if Josh Allen does want to get better, he's going to need a coach that actually, knows how to work in those situations. Because
yeah,
right now, we don't really see much behind the scenes, but kind of just seems like he's talking about terrorists.
hmm
I just feel like if he wants Josh Allen to get better, then he won't be the head. That's the only way, in my opinion. That's the only way he's going to get better. Is if
yeah,
Sean McDermott is fired. Getting rid of Stephon Diggs at all, I thought was ridiculous. Yes, he might
yeah,
want to leave, but he had another year on his contract. Getting rid of him whatsoever, you screwed yourself.
yeah. And plus, what you got back from him was,
Exactly.
yeah, that
Now they
was,
have Keon Coleman.
hmm
They released all the receivers because they put themselves in too much debt. That's another thing about Sean McDermott. He does not know how to manage money at all. Because if you have to release 3 of your best defensive players because you're out of cap room, you screwed up.
yeah, yeah. Like I think, I mean, yeah, he can't win the big games. I think Kim Dorsey was a big problem there. So that might be so that like you can make that claim that Kim Dorsey was the problem, not him. But he can't get past the divisional round. Yet I, except
The
it's
Cowboys of
honestly
the AFC.
yeah. It cannot beat it's like Georgia and Alabama. Georgia cannot find a way to beat Bama. And the Bills cannot find a way to beat the Chiefs, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
In the regular season, they have their number. But in the playoffs, it's a whole different story. He just can't win the big games. Like it's like Mike McCarthy. He
They're gonna miss
cannot
the playoffs this year.
most likely. I don't know.
They have Josh Allen
Yeah.
and
Josh Allen isn't Superman. I don't care what the Bills fans say. He's not. I don't see him winning a Super Bowl. I think from that draft class, I think honestly, Justin Herbert might win a Super Bowl ring before him.
and he's on the Chargers.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
I think the Chargers might be something without Brandon Staley.
maybe that's for a different video. But the Bills are just in I think he honestly without like unintentionally sabotaged their team. But I don't know. I think he might get fired.
That stuff, that was all our takes on NBA and NFL head coaches on the hot seat. We talked about a couple trades.
Mm-hmm.
That I finally getting back in the swing of things with the Down the Field podcast. We're hoping we can get back. Interviews have just been so hard to get on with. We had like 3 ready, and then they all ended up not being able to do it. One of the Arkansas players transferred. We weren't able to do it. It's just been a big mess, but we're gonna try to keep producing somewhat of content.
Mm-hmm.
It's stressful.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And hopefully Tennessee loses.
Oh yeah. No, I hope the stadium gets nuked.
Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long.